to develop feel. This is a topic that a lot of riders, especially beginner riders, really have a hard time understanding, is that the equestrian sports, it doesn't matter what discipline, it's all feeling based, okay? You are connecting, you are a partner, you are sort of at one with this animal, this gorgeous creature that we call horses, and you have to be able to feel things which doesn't really appear in a lot of other sports. So it's a very unique thing to try and develop feel. And that is what I'm going to be covering in today's video, is how can you develop feel, especially if you don't know what it is that you're looking for. My name is Krystal Kelly and I am an FEI level 2 show jumping coach, and I've traveled the world on like 5 different continents, over 60 countries, working with horses. So I've been doing this for a little while, and so hopefully today's tips is going to be a huge breakthrough for you. I'm actually going to be sharing some tips which I was having a recent discussion with my husband, and the reason that I was discussing this topic with my husband Christian is because he recently started learning how to ride as an adult, only 3 years ago with me. And so it's very new for him, this kind of feeling, and especially because he's an engineer, like he was a mechanical engineer, so he was used to like driving motorbikes and cars, which there's some form of feeling around that as well. But you know, he had never really done sports. He didn't really know what it was supposed to feel like in the beginning. And so I have this discussion with him. You can actually watch our entire conversation. It's during our 3-day free virtual clinic. So yeah, it's a virtual clinic, so you can just kind of go and register. The link is down below. I would highly recommend you hear his own story and his experiences, because like I said, he's been riding for the past 3 years and he does extremely well, but it's very new for him. So he can kind of share with you a little bit more about his struggles and his light bulb moments. Whereas from my perspective, I've been doing this for a very long time. So for me, you know, when I talk about feeling, it's more of because I've been doing it for so long, I know exactly what it is that I'm looking for. But in the beginning, he really didn't. So I would recommend, like I said, to go check out the International Equestrian Virtual Clinic. Totally free. The link is going to be down below. And now I'm going to go ahead and share with you some of the tips which we talked about in this virtual clinic. So how do you develop feel? Part of developing feeling comes through repetition. And I know that a lot of people don't necessarily have access to a lot of different horses, but I'm gonna suggest that you find a way, because riding multiple horses and getting as much hours in the saddle as you possibly can is the greatest way and the quickest way that you are gonna develop that feeling. If you only ride once a month or a handful of times a year, you're not gonna really be able to develop a feel, because you just don't have enough hours in the saddle to be able to recognize something. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't learn or that you can't progress at all. It just means it's going to take a whole lot longer than if you could kind of co-lease a horse with somebody, or maybe if you have a horse of your own, or if you could ask some friends or kind of pay for lessons, whatever it is that you need to do. But the most amount of time that you can spend in the saddle, the better it's going to be for you to develop your feel. Another thing which I'm going to suggest is to have a coach of some kind. Now, having a coach in real time, standing in the arena with you, is going to be a huge benefit, because that person, I mean, assuming that they're a qualified coach and they actually know what they're talking about, you know, you want to make sure that you find the right coach. I do have videos that talk about how to find the right coach, so feel free to go and check them out. But you need a coach that's going to stand in the arena with you, and when you're trying to work on a task or work on something, that person in the arena needs to be able to observe what it is that you're doing and tell you, there, did you feel that? Okay, and that's the moment or the step where the horse maybe did the task correctly. Maybe it stepped how it was supposed to step, or bent how it was supposed to bend, you know, but that person on the ground is kind of your eyes that can say, there, your horse did that exercise correctly. Did you feel how it felt when the horse did it correctly? It was only for a step, or it was only for, you know, the corner, but did you feel it? And in the beginning, you're probably not gonna feel it, okay? Because you don't know what you're looking for. But over time, the more that that person on the ground is going to ask you that question, the more you are by yourself going to start internalizing this question, and you're going to start asking it yourself. So when you're riding your horse, even without somebody in the arena, or out on the trail or wherever it is, you're going to actually have something happen, and you're going to think to yourself, what did I feel? Was that correct? Is that what I'm trying to feel? Is that what it feels like when the horse does such and such? Okay, so having a coach or a mentor can definitely make a big difference. Now, if you don't have access to a coach that can actually stand in the arena with you, at all times, every time you ride, then like I said, you need to start questioning to yourself as you're doing a task or an exercise, what is it that I'm feeling? And another way that you can kind of develop your eye is to make videos of yourself and then go and watch them later and see where the moments were that you were actually kind of on the right track or you did something right. Another thing is to just watch videos of other people riding. YouTube is a great tool. There's a whole lot of online courses. I have some online courses. There's so many online courses and things nowadays, and even like the virtual clinic that I mentioned. So there's so many resources. Like, I don't think you're gonna fall short of finding videos. But watch videos of other people doing these tasks, which you're trying to do, because the more that you see something done correctly, the more that your brain is going to start connecting the two, okay? So it's going to start connecting of what you're visually seeing looks correct and how it should sort of feel. And you're gonna have like a light bulb go off, a little light bulb moment. This could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years, okay? We don't know. But someday that little light bulb is gonna go off and suddenly it's gonna click and you're gonna realize, oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Or that's the feeling I'm trying to get my horse to do. Okay, so you just have to be patient. Again, it helps if you have a coach or if you can watch videos, and then it's gonna take a lot of time and practice in the saddle. I would recommend that you try and plan in your normal routine. If you can't ride a whole lot, if you can't take a lesson 5 days a week, work into your schedule and plan in your routine. When can you actually ride? How many hours a week can you ride? But then also, how many hours a week can you spend to educate yourself or observe videos or maybe shadow other riding instructors? Maybe you can't afford to take the lesson, but the instructor is more than happy to let you stand in the arena with them and help them put up, poles and jumps and exercises. And shadowing a coach or shadowing someone else is a really great way of learning. I know that in my travels, I've worked with a lot of high-level Olympic riders and coaches, and that's what I used to do. I used to just stand in the arena with them, even if I wasn't the one getting a lesson, and I would just listen to what it is that they were teaching other people. And I would try and watch and observe and see exactly what it is that they were noticing and pointing out. Maybe if the instructor was willing, then I would ask them some questions or something kind of quietly while the rider was practicing something. So definitely there are ways for you to get in the hours without actually having, bucket loads of money. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please comment below and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching and happy trails.